Hello.
Oh, you're
You
answering
didn't
the
think I was
phone?
going to answer, did you? You didn't think I was going to answer.
No, I thought I was going to have to play the phone tag game with you. It's been,
I was answering.
listen, the last couple of times it's been a little bit of chasing you down to,
Chasing me. I'm
yeah.
going to start keeping notes because I feel like you've called late 2 or 3 times now.
Well, did I call late today?
1 minute.
Yeah, well, when you say 5:30-ish, I feel
Okay,
like
all right. I'll give you that. I'll
that gives
give
me
you
a
that.
little wiggle room, right? As
You
long
had a little wiggle room.
I know,
Okay.
yet ironically, I know that doesn't mean earlier. It always means later is acceptable. So, uh, what's up, buddy?
What's going on?
Nothing.
How you doing over there?
Let me tell you something. I was driving around working today I was with
Yeah.
Marco again, and
hmm
I turned to him. I'm like, "What? Where are we? Is this December?" Because it was like humid and in the 80s again. Like it feels like August, and I'm like miserable. Like I can't catch more than
Well,
two
can I
solid
just say something
two
then?
solid days. Yeah, please.
Go fuck yourself. It's like 35 degrees here today.
All I know was I was sweating my tits off all day at work, going, "Where's this? Where's this?" All we've gotten are like two-day cold fronts, and by cold front I mean like I don't know 70s during the day and 50s at night or 60s at night. It's like where's my winter? I live for those like 3 or 4 months we get in South Florida where you can just leave the windows open and no AC and get to wear a jacket at night every now and then, not to be not to be warm or to fend off the cold, but just to be fashionable.
I mean, it
It's
is cold here though. I'm telling you, be careful what you wish for because I walked out of the house. There's ice everywhere. I like now the temperature. The sun's down, so it's like 35 degrees. It's windy, so it feels like it's like under 30.
uh-huh.
We had a little snow flurries this afternoon when I'm sitting outside talking to somebody. This guy wants to have a whole conversation. I'm like, bro, we got flurries coming. I mean, my tits are freezing. My balls are shriveling up, and this guy wants to have a conversation outside.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did see that I think we're dipping into the 50s tonight, and then like back into the 70s tomorrow. So at least,
I hope you freeze your fucking balls off. That's what I hope.
I'm just like, I keep walking over to our big sliding glass door that's on our balcony for the apartment, and I keep putting
Right.
my hand up on it to see if it's cool enough to even test opening up the windows yet.
And like I don't think people who don't live in Florida they don't understand what you're talking about.
Oh,
Like this is a very important time of the year for
it
Floridians.
is. We suffer. We have that
Right.
rationale during the summer when it's super hot and super humid. That like, oh, but it's all worth it because we get that little window where we get like quote
Right.
unquote winter, but our
Right.
winter isn't. It's like I said, I haven't run a heater in a house in forever. I've probably run a heater in a car twice in the last like I don't know 5 years. So it's just we get this wonderful weather, but we're not getting it this year, and I'm like really
But
starting to
it's
get
funny. So
antsy.
but yeah, and I get it. But I get home today. I'm working. I get home, and my kids don't. I guess they don't comprehend that it's 30 degrees outside, and they probably should turn the heat on in the house, right? Like that would be the normal thing to do, right? Am I wrong?
I mean, if you're cold, either put on some layers or turn on the heat. Yeah, sure.
I It was 60 degrees in the house when I walked in just now.
I mean, I would love for my house to be 60 degrees.
60 degrees. I walked in. I was like, it's like the Arctic in here. I'm like, the dog's now a penguin. I'm
See,
like,
your Florida is showing. Your South Florida is
oh,
showing
for
because
sure.
because
My bones haven't, right. My
because
blood is still,
60 degrees inside the house during a winter time isn't bad. That's I mean,
no, but my blood isn't, it's not adapted to this, like,
yeah.
weather here. It's ridiculous.
I mean, when I used to visit my cousin. I went to school in Rhode Island for college, and I used to go
Mm.
to my cousin's house in Longmeadow, Massachusetts, every Thanksgiving, and it's like like the thick, it's like They run the heat, but it's still cool in the house where you got like thick socks and you're not walking around in shorts and a t-shirt in the house. It's still too cool for that.
Right. Well, I put the heat on 68. I just had to take the crispness out here a little bit. I was like, at least let it warm up a little bit in here, and then we can cut it off. But right
Yeah,
now, Jesus,
yeah.
yeah, these kids have no clue. They're like, "What? It's
I
cold
could
in here." I'm like,
I couldn't even imagine turning the heat on in this apartment. That's never. I don't think we've ever run the heat. Like what that
"You
must
sort of
smell
fire."
like. What that must smell like the first time you run it.
Right? Oh yeah, that'd be awful.
Oh my god.
Well,
So
yeah. Go ahead.
I have one thing I wanted to bring up
One
before
thing.
we. I hear you under your
Okay.
breath there, over there, you piece of shit. Uh,
Go ahead.
uh, we forgot to like kind of acknowledge 50 episodes of the Furlough Files.
So it's funny because the day you posted it, I was like, This is 52 we're on now,"
Yeah,
and you posted 50, and I go, "Oh, really blew this one." I
right.
really missed it. And then I saw 51 the other day, and I went, "Wow, we've blown it 2 days in a row, two in a
We,
row now."
we not only do we not like make it a special thing, like plan ahead and be like, all right, for our 50th, we're going to do something
Right.
or have someone on or tell some very precious story or something. But we also had talked about doing end of the year like award nominations, and we didn't do those either.
We've really just dropped the ball all the way
I
around.
mean, I listen. I understand why our average has dipped this month from last month. To be honest with you,
You know, it's
we're
2020. We'll get it next year.
we're really like we're really coasting home with the gas on E, aren't we?
We floored it and then took our foot off the. I've done that many a times,
Where
and
you
hoped I made it to 3 or 4 miles
Yeah,
into the gas station.
yeah. I did that yesterday at work. I'm like driving the truck back, and it gave that like if you're gonna go uphill, I'm gonna run out of gas kind of thing. So it shimmied like twice while I was driving it back to the shop, and I left it there. And then this morning, I wasn't driving that truck, and the guy Zach that I work with, I'm like, "You're driving the truck, right?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "You're gonna need gas. You might even need to walk and get it with a can." So,
So wait a second. You don't pay for the gas, you cheap fuck. Why didn't you just get the gas?
okay. Well, in this instance, there were two reasons. One, I wanted to see if I could make it. I was just curious, like, oh, how long can I be on reserve fuel where there's no bars on my fuel gauge, where it says reserve fuel and it's dinging. I was just curious, like, can I get like, 5 miles out of it, 10 miles out of it, just so I know for the future. And two, if I don't do it in the morning, because we're kind of based out of this truck stop kind of place,
Yeah.
that then I got to front the money and wait to get reimbursed for it like at the end of the week. And the problem is that 2 or 3 times I've forgotten to get a receipt for it, and then I'm eating like a like a tank of gas here or there.
Oh, that would piss me off.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would make me.
so I
Yeah,
don't.
I would be angry with
I'm
that
not
one.
eager to pull into a gas station unless I have to, because I've
All
kind
right,
of
I can see that then.
I've gotten
I can
keistered a
see
couple
that.
of times on that. I'm like, all right, no more of that.
No, I would. That would drive me nuts
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
so because the where we can get like gas on our account is at the truck stop, which is where the truck was going to end up anyways. That's where
Right.
So
Okay. Now that makes sense. Okay.
yeah. So we blew our 50. So I don't know. Do we retro do it, or do we just wait for a 75
Well, I
or
mean,
100?
what were we gonna do anyway?
I don't know. We never fucking thought it through. I don't know. I mean, listen. I don't have an answer for everything here. I just I sometimes come up with good ideas, and then
I mean, we're struggling to find stories every week as is. We're
no,
we're gonna miraculously find one for the 50.
no, we're not struggling to find stories. We're struggling to find stories that we can tell. There's a lot
This
of
is true.
like there's a whole, like, if you had folders on your computer, there's a whole folder of stories that are like after your kids are both out of the house. There's a whole
Right.
there's a whole folder of stories when certain people die, then we can tell these stories.
Right.
There's a lot of that shit going on.
Yeah,
So
this is true. We can't tell some of these stories.
right, it's not appropriate. And I got stories, but I'm like, some of them are pretty good. I want to hold on to them for the right time. I mean, for the 50th, I could have told.
Maybe we need like an OnlyFans where we tell those stories.
Well, you
Is that a
mean?
thing? Like,
I mean,
can I make an OnlyFans to tell stories, or do I gotta like slang my penis?
I think you could do an OnlyFans and do anything. You could fucking just. It could just be a cam on your toes and you pour hot sauce on them. I don't know. I don't know what.
Really?
You could do whatever you want. It just depends if people are going to pay for that month after month. I know Patreon, which is, I mean, they're all in the same ballpark where you're paying for
Right.
monthly content. That's less. OnlyFans, mostly when you think of OnlyFans, you think of like, it's more like people doing porno stuff, so showing their tits or sticking things inside of them or whatever. But I know Patreon is more like the more mainstream normal stuff. So it's like, I mean, if we could discuss, for all sakes of purposes here, like doing a Patreon where people pay like, I don't know, a few bucks a month, a donation of their choice, whatever it is, and we do like 2 extra podcasts a week or something. I mean, that makes sense. I don't, or I mean, if you're gonna tell like the stories you don't want to tell publicly, it's still kind of publicly. I mean, it's not like someone can't record it or download it or whatever, and tell the person that you didn't want to hear it, listen to what they said about you today, So,
Right. That doesn't make much sense.
no, it doesn't. Either we're going to tell it or we're not. I don't think,
Now, I will tell you. Speaking of OnlyFans, I was watching the TikTok today.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you subscribe to someone.
No, I would never. I'm too cheap for that.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised.
I was watching, and this girl, they were Barstool Sports guy was interviewing her, and she said, I don't know who she is. She was a YouTube star, I guess, and she said she made more money on OnlyFans this year than she did the last 4 years of YouTube together, and that she made one video, and off one video she made she made a sex tape with her, another guy, and his pregnant girlfriend, and they put it on OnlyFans, and she said that they made $500,000 off that so far this year.
But, and here's the caveat to that. She still had to put those 4 years in on YouTube to get people to care about her fucking a pregnant couple on OnlyFans. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. Well,
if they
did
just
pay because they wanted to see the pregnant lady?
Yes,
in a 3-way.
But nobody's even going to know about it. She had to build the platform and the following first. It's not like
Right.
if I went and found a pregnant girl and another girl, we made a video and nobody had a following and nobody had a YouTube channel and who cares? You know what I mean? We
you
wouldn't
still
have
get to
made
bank someone's pregnant girl. That's pretty cool.
Well, that's true.
I mean,
I could shake hands with some unborn child, but but
hey, and you don't have to worry about getting her pregnant.
that's true. It's a mission's already accomplished. I'm kind of like, it's like wearing shorts over pants. You know what I mean? I didn't even know if that would make sense, but it just came out like that. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, she had to do the grunt work to then cash in on it. You know what I mean? I understand that, like, her YouTube doesn't generate that much money, but it generated a following that then paid to go see her, with this fucking, poppin' mamas nonsense or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
So,
I will tell you, I had stuff to talk about, but of course I forgot to write it down.
you're such a piece of shit. Yeah, this is why no one would fucking subscribe to our Patreon, because it would just be more of a, I don't know, what do you want to talk about?
What do you? I don't have anything. I will say this.
Yeah.
I do have one thing that I did not forget, but I was saving it because I just know I'm going to get pounced on, and the embarrassment, and
Well, you want to hang on to it for a second, because I have something that kind of transitions from what we were just talking about.
Okay.
And in terms of, like, all of a sudden being sex workers on the social medias and stuff.
Yeah.
Was the advice I gave our friend CJ yesterday. Because we were having Long story short, I was fulfilling orders. That because we finally got hoodies in, and she got her little email that things are packed and are shipping. So she contacts me, and it somehow transitioned into complaining about your TikToking and how you get more views off of duetting her videos than she gets initially putting them up. And then it got into like girls showing their tits, and we've answered the question. If you want more likes and clicks and whatever, you got to start popping those nips. And that was I mean, it's scientifically proven, but
I mean, it really is.
yeah. So, I had this whole conversation, and I hadn't even told you about it yet.
No.
And apparently, like you had a side to this conversation that you told me
Well, she
afterwards.
texted me and said that you had mentioned that, and my response was, he ain't wrong. Like this facts are facts, and me and you did not speak about this.
No, I
But
like the first like yeah like 20 minutes later I thought about it and called you and you're like, well, funny you should mention that
right, I already knew about it, right?
yeah.
But my response was the same as your response. That's, I mean, he ain't wrong,
Yeah, I mean, work hard or work smart. You know what I mean?
right? I mean, listen, if I could,
Oh,
I would.
a
I mean, but
1,000% from this end too.
right,
Yes. God,
right,
I wish I was a 20-year-old girl with access to the internet these days.
right. Because honestly, I would be rich and famous right now.
Right, with no shame. I
Because I
wouldn't
have no shame as is.
no
So
shame, and I wouldn't apologize for anything.
right,
If I have to cry myself to sleep at night on a fucking mountain of cash, I would happily do it. You know.
right. I definitely would have my nips popping out.
Right. Well, I mean, goddamn, you were a professional wrestler. I mean, it's not
Right.
like you're really going any lower. You prostituted yourself for years for a hot dog and a handshake.
For literally a hot dog and a handshake.
Right. So So I
I've
just
been paid with more hot dogs and handshakes than actual money.
right. Uh,
Yeah.
that's always
Yeah.
fun when you drive 5 hours for that.
Speaking of that,
Yeah.
I definitely canceled my wrestling booking for
Well,
tomorrow.
It's funny. I didn't mean to transition to that, and I had forgotten the other thing I had written on my list. But then I looked as you were saying that, and it said canceled this weekend show. And I'm like, oh, perfect.
Yep. So I thought I wanted to wrestle again,
Yeah,
and I I took two bookings. I already canceled one. That was last month for Powers and TK.
yeah. Well, they
Uh,
were. I've. What was the? Was it like a? Was that? Funnily, like that's a word. Ironically, these are both sort of canceled for the same issue, but on opposite sides of it. So, what was the issue? Was that he was like overly COVID nutso or something like that?
right, but they did run the show, but they wanted you to get tested before. They wanted you to. I mean, like I had to get a COVID test. Like 2 days prior, I had to like show up with a mask on. I had to like wash my body with like cleanser before going to the ring. Like it was just there was so many rules, and it was outside in November, which
Right.
I mean
In the
that week that the show
Carolinas,
was
right?
freezing.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Right. So you're not talking Florida weather. It's like right. So I just didn't want to do any of that. I didn't want to go get a physical. You got to have a physical. Like I didn't want to do any of that. So I canceled.
So was it because of an inconvenience or one of those? I don't want to go get a physical because I don't want to find out I've got something going on. Like,
No, it was inconvenience more
okay.
than anything because the physicals are bullshit. But
Oh,
then I would
that's
have
right.
got a
Yeah.
COVID test, and it just there was such an inconvenience to go wrestle for no money, mind you, because I was doing it for them. I was gonna do it for them for free because they're two college kids who are broke that are still trying to run wrestling shows. So I was like, no, I'll do it.
Also, you kind of like them.
I do like them. Well, Josh, not really TK, but I like Josh like a lot. Like he's a good kid, and
I mean, he was your tag team partner for a little bit.
right, and no, I like him, and I just did. It was the inconvenience. I was like, I don't want to do it,
Right.
and then
Hmm.
I took this other booking, which is tomorrow night in Daytona Beach, and over the last couple weeks, it's an inconvenience. Who wants to go to Daytona Beach, right? Like, I don't want to do that tomorrow. Drive there, spend the weekend. Like, my kids would have had to come, the dog. Like, it was just such an inconvenience. Or my dad would have had to come watch them. Inconvenience, right?
I think if you had come, I would have gone up to Daytona, and we could have had a good time. If you had left the kids and the dog
Right.
with Dad, we would have had a great time,
Other part
regardless of
is,
wrestling.
Nick has two games. His game tomorrow, game Saturday. I don't want to really miss his games anymore.
Right.
I'm done with that shit, right? Like, and I'm the cameraman. The team relies on me. Like,
Well,
I
also you
become
want to
that dad.
be the cool. You want everyone to come up and say hi and show you the proper respect. And
Right, proper respect to the TikTok legend of McDonough, Georgia,
plus,
and
it really annoys Nick. So
more than anything, right? So but I do feel I'm the cameraman. I've got to be there for them. I mean, I'm sure the coach hates watching it after because I blast him for 45 minutes in the video. I was like, "You put in the wrong people." Like, I think about it after, and I'm like, I blast this guy for 45 minutes. He has to go home and watch this and listen to me tell him how bad of a coach he is. Why would he even ask me to film the next game? I have no idea. So anyway,
well, you'll know if he's mad at you if he unsubscribes from your TikTok page.
right. But
Yeah.
he keeps handing me the thing to film, and Nick watched one recently and was like, "Oh my god!" I said, "What?" He's like, "You were blasting the players." I said, "Oh, I gotta be careful." He's like, the one kid by like 5 turnovers. He goes, all of a sudden, you just hear you go, "You're a fucking turnover machine." I say it on the film. Right? And I'm saying, but I'm saying it like to myself, but I keep forgetting that it's recording. And, I'm blasting kids. I'm like, God, he sucks. Nick's like, oh, yeah, you hear everything. I was like,
You're preparing them if they end up going to play like at a higher level. They're going to have to hear this from random strangers. At least from Mr. Genetti, it's
right,
he might loan you $1 afterwards.
right. Yeah, so, but I'm brutal with that. Anyway, I want to go to the games. I don't want to go wrestle. Well, that's number one. Number two,
Right.
the whole thing's been shady from the beginning because, like, I can tell when somebody's full of shit, and this was full of shit from day one. They've sold like 6 tickets in this giant arena. They, I was supposed to get paid months in advance, never got it. Didn't have any hotel reservations. Like, none of that stuff was done when it should have been done already. Like, this is the week leading up to it. Plus, I don't feel good. I'm sick.
Well,
Um,
also, wasn't there a whole trademarking issue thing going on?
right, and then on top of it, this guy trademarked the name the Slambinos that he does not own. He trademarked it.
Like,
He doesn't own it
kind of out from under you, or trying to.
from under me and Howard Brody. So like now you've pissed me off. You've done that. You've backhanded somebody. Howard's been really good to me. So like you've backhanded somebody that I I may make fun of Howard and this and that, but like he's never been bad to me,
No,
right? So
but you've earned the
Howard,
right to do that. Yeah.
right? I am a Slambino, and this guy trademarks it. Like that's my thing. That's my thing more than Frankie's thing too. Was my partner. I'm the Slambinos. I'm the Slambi. He was just a block of mozzarella that stood next to me on the apron. Like, right. So now, like this guy, like did all this weird, shady, like carny shit, and I did what anybody in 2020 would do. I canceled, saying I was sick. I had COVID. I have not been COVID tested. I do not have COVID, but I used it. Now he could hear this. I don't even care because he hung up on me. So,
Well, was this before or after you found out they'd only sold 6 tickets to the show?
well, at first it was 2 tickets. They've upped it to 6.
No,
So,
I understand. Wow, that's a huge
oh, I knew.
percentage of increase. It's heating up in this last week.
Right. And they've done no promotion for it, but whatever. I don't even want to wrestle. So I've made it. I am totally done with wrestling. I am not wrestling anymore. There's no reason to. I don't care to. I don't feel like I want to. My body doesn't want to. My mind doesn't want to.
Well, yeah, we were talking, Blake. I sent. Well, here's the funny thing. I sent like the quote flyer, which is also like
Hmm.
the promotional image they've been using on Facebook. I saw it come through my feed the other day, and I saw that you were pictured on it, and I started laughing because I kind of like a month ago, or it sounded like I remembered you saying you weren't going to do this damn show. So I was like really amused that you were, excuse me, still on the promotional.
Right.
So I sent it to the group thing, and Blake, I guess, thought you were still doing the show, and
I don't know why.
I'm like, no, Blake, let me lay it out for you. A, he's a fat piece of shit again. He's gotten way out of control. He hasn't even been going to the gym. He hasn't been dieting or exercising. Like if he was actually going to go do this, he'd have put a little work in because he does. You know, he don't want to drop dead in the middle of the ring. He doesn't want to look bad, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
Two, we know from many past experiences that every time you wrestle, it's like such a great idea 5 months out, but that last month heading into it, it's like, what did I get myself involved with? I don't even want to do this, blah, blah, blah. And it's bitch about having to do it.
Right.
And
You know this.
and you haven't complained once about having to do this show, and we're a week out from the show
Right.
happening. I'm like, Blake, I mean, logic tells you by all of his past behavior that he's not going anywhere near the state of Florida this weekend. I said, plus I knew you were sick and what yada yada, but I didn't even bring that stuff up because I'm like, he's not working. Hopefully they gave a little deposit and he'll just pocket that. But but apparently that was another reason why you didn't do it was they didn't. They didn't
I mean, you know me better than me. I think sometimes.
I do. I mean, listen, it's that's the kind of behavior that if someone says it, you're like, yeah, you're right, but it's not like you're aware of doing it when you do it, So,
Right.
but yeah, you have definitely set a precedence with, because you've retired and unretired like fucking 4 times now over the last like 5 years, and every time it's the same thing. You do a little string of things, and every time it's like, oh, what am I doing? I don't even want to do this. This is going to be terrible. I'm dreading it the whole time. That last week it's dread, complain, complain, complain.
Right. And you know this, right?
Yeah,
You know this.
yeah. I'm so
when I start to think I have to drive to Daytona, like and then I have to like take a bus, and then Frankie he's like 47 years old. I don't even know how old he is. He like thinks I'm gonna do all the work. I was only being booked to carry him so that he can get another booking payday to stand there. You know?
Okay.
That's what it was all about. And then
Yeah.
I don't know why I even said yes. I don't know.
I think you said yes because you had a little bit of an itch, but also I think that
Right.
the offer was good.
Oh, it was.
Yeah,
I
it
would've
wasn't
made some
like
good money this weekend.
that wasn't
but
the Carolina boys.
no, this would have been a good payday.
Yeah.
But the time that it would take away from my life isn't worth it.
Right.
Not worth it.
I don't disagree. I would have. I two things. I would have I was happy to go. Like if you were going to do it, I would have been like excited to go to Daytona and watch the shit show, especially if no one came. If it was 6 people there and it actually happened, and the after thing would be fun, hanging out with you and some of the boys and shitting on it and just being in Daytona together. But I would have counseled against that one because it's the Slambinos, and I mean I know you still enjoy being a Slambino, but we got all this Breakfast Club merchandise sitting here.
Right.
You could do the Breakfast Club gimmick and sell a bunch of T-shirts and hats. So
Right.
You could,
the whole thing was stupid. It was a stupid idea, but whatever. I'm not going. I'm gonna not be there, so they can wrestle in front of all 6 people.
Hey, listen, card subject to change. So don't feel bad. Although, like I said,
I don't feel bad.
Like I said yesterday, you're like, oh, I told him I had COVID. I'm like, hopefully he doesn't see you dancing on TikTok.
Speaking of that,
yeah,
somebody that I work with said, "I thought you were sick." They said, "Well," I said, "Listen, there's always time to dance, my friend."
I mean, an easy answer is I film all those at the beginning of the week or something.
Yeah, I told him, "Oh, it's all drafts."
Right.
Yeah. Oh, So I heard you call me a fat piece of shit. I heard you throw that in there,
Mm.
as if you think I was gonna blow past that.
No, no, I only
But
deal. We only deal in facts here. So
well, and I gotta tell you, you're not wrong.
yeah.
I am back up to 240. I was 226. I'm 240, and I cannot stop fucking eating.
Are we talking 240 even or 240 ish?
It's raised between 238 and 240.
All right.
So
All right.
like I'm fluctuating, but my stomach is back to being the blob. I don't have the abs that were coming in anymore. I have zero muscle because I haven't worked out in 2 months, and I just bought two cannolis to eat later because I didn't eat them last night.
And
But
who told you? Who told
it's the
you?
holidays. Once Christmas is over, I'll be back on the train.
But who told you that you weren't just going to be able to do a day here and a day there? Who told you that this was you were going to
But it's
have
not
a?
even the food. I just stopped working out. If I can keep working out, I don't
Uh,
think it's a problem.
I told you you were going to have a 2 month slide, and here we are, sliding into 240, and then the refs going safe.
Sliding into, I was almost a cruiserweight. Now I'm back to the heavyweight division.
I know. Wasn't this the old? Wasn't this the old cruiserweight weight 240?
Was it?
I don't know. No, it's probably like 215 or something or
All
220.
I know is I can't stop eating, and I got cannolis for tonight,
Oh
and
God, you are a fat fuck.
and then I eat it, and then I immediately feel regret, and I'm like upset with myself, and then I'm so upset that I eat something else because I've upset myself enough to like put myself into like an eating depression,
Yeah,
and here we are.
this is the definition of a shame spiral you are in.
It's very true. Yeah.
Well,
Hmm. I had a
listen,
pizza the other night, the whole pizza.
I'm really enjoying. Wow, I'm really enjoying you being a good 15 pounds heavier than me again.
Unbelievable.
Maybe 20. I don't know. I've been eating well, so.
Well, good thing is, I still think Marco will end up being fatter than me. I don't know if I can say
No, you
because you had
can't.
to bleep me last
No,
time.
well,
So,
here's the thing. Just between you and me, I forgot to bleep it. But since no one said anything, maybe we snuck
it
one
makes it even better.
maybe we snuck one past the
Oh,
goalie last week. But
hopefully Margaret didn't listen. Although she was the first one to like it last week.
well, listen, that's probably someone on the inner circle. But my point is that I think let's steer away from that topic until Marco tackles it. Um,
So,
oh, we're
it doesn't matter. He's gonna be fatter than me.
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, I don't even want to tell you where I am right now.
uh, well, I know I heard your car beeping, like that you opened the door or took a key out or something.
Right?
Where are you? Oh, look, you got the other
Oh,
phone going. Where are you?
so I
Not.
am sitting in front of Publix because I've got to make dinner here,
Oh,
and I think I'm gonna make. I don't even want to tell. I don't even want to tell you. I'm embarrassed.
I figured at this point you were just getting a whole carrot cake and eating it with a fork.
No, I got the cannolis for later. I even had McDonald's this week. I haven't had
Jesus.
McDonald's. Do you know when the last time I had McDonald's was?
No.
In March. And I had McDonald's.
Yeah. Well,
It wasn't even good.
I mean, just get it in before the new year, I guess. Right?
I had Firehouse Subs this week.
Oh my
Wasn't even good.
God. But you're still.
I had,
I
yeah.
bet you ate all of it.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I even had a sweet tea.
Oh, what a waste.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a waste. You worked
Well,
so hard to beat me, and now here I
yeah.
am, going where'd you go? Looking up at the at the
This is also how I rope you into another contest. So
Oh,
I
is
can
this
beat you a
how it
third
is?
time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let you know that if we were to have another contest, I would cut a hand off before I.
There's no way you're losing three times.
No, I would literally like how much more do I need to lose? I'd just start
Yeah.
cutting toes off until I made the weight.
Well, I'm gonna make chicken fettuccine Alfredo tonight
Oh my God.
from scratch.
Is there a fatter Italian dish?
I mean, this is bad.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna make some garlic bread too.
Jesus Christ.
I'm off the chain. Uh, I know I'm off the chain. This is how I know. I'm all this food I'm talking about. That's not even how I know. How I know I'm off the rails is because I walk into a store yesterday and the bowl of chocolate with the Reese's peanut butter Christmas trees. I had like 8 of them, and I knew right there. I go, this is it. Like I am off the rails.
Hey, that's a lot.
And I'm like digging through like to see what like. So I went back to that store today, and this is when it really hit me because I went straight to the break room and the bowl was empty. And I go, who ate all the Reese's? And they're like, whoa, dude. They're like, you ate them yesterday. I was like, oh. I was like, never mind, carry on.
Oh my God.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
You're a monster. What you've really
yeah. No,
devolved
this is
to.
bad. This is not good.
Miss,
It's not good.
Dr. Jekyll has left the building. You are.
We're in a bad. I'm in a bad place.
Yeah, I don't know
Bad
what
place.
you. I mean, at least you're smiling about it. This is a.
Well, and it won't hit me till I start getting like the acid reflux, and that's when I'll be like, I gotta change my ways.
Oh
But
yeah.
right now, it's not. I'm just fat. Like that's
Okay.
it.
So, you have
There's no way about it.
so,
Yeah.
just out of curiosity, so you're in like a different size of pants now, right?
No, though, and that's the thing.
Oh
I put
no.
my jeans on this morning, and the belt buckle is still the same. So now I'm like, wait a second. So
Yeah, but can you see the belt buckle?
it's just my stomach. It's my stomach only.
It hangs over.
Right. So my pants fit because my ass isn't growing and my hips aren't growing. It's just my belly.
Oh God.
Yeah.
This is really bad because I always.
Oh, it's beyond bad. It's not bad that even. We're so past bad. It's not even funny.
Are you getting like out of breath at weird times, like after you eat and stuff?
No, but I had to walk upstairs today, and I had to take a minute after. And I was trying to talk to somebody, and I was like, "Give me a second." Like I had to take a minute just to like gather myself before I could continue my
Oh
conversation.
my God.
Yeah. Bad, bad. We're on a whole nother. This is bad.
Oh my God. All right. Well,
Bad.
you know, sort your shit, man. Sort your shit. I
Yeah.
don't know what
This
to
is
tell
bad.
you.
Bad news.
I
Bad
don't.
news.
I don't give good advice. I only give bad advice. So I don't think you want me talking
Right.
about.
And you give me bad advice on. You want me to be fat. That's the worst part.
Yes, I do because it's entertaining and like I've said before, I don't like being the fattest guy in the group. So I'm glad that position has been filled by someone else because I didn't want it anymore.
Yeah, this is bad. It's bad. It's a
Yeah.
bad trouble. I'm in trouble. Right. Yeah. Well, that's all I got. I'm done. I'm upset. I'm gonna go to Publix. I'm gonna buy more cannolis and
All right.
maybe
Well,
some Oreo cookies. I feel like Oreo cookies.
I
So
mean, might as well see if you can put some like chocolate magic shell on them or something. Listen, I'll leave it with this. I would say that you brought nothing to the table today, but if you had, you would have probably eaten it. So,
oh God.
yeah, I'm not gonna sugarcoat things because you might eat those too. So I'll just be straight
Oh,
with you.
good. I'm done with you. I'm done. Goodbye.
Bye.